Yeah, just a bit of footage this week from our game last week, and just a couple of things we can work on, as well as just having a bit of a look at various ruck setups against Southern Flinders from Jamestown's point of view. So we can just see here, Gertie was actually minding Shane Arbin, and I think it was Dylan got caught running forward, and Gertie had to go then to Millard, and Arbin was away. Make sure we got some on the defensive side the whole time. Setting up here, Greenie had the job on Slattery and played close attention to him. You can see there, Gertie, it's good close attention. We keep working, but then they still manage to get the ball away. So got to make sure that we've got the strong hands there. This one, I think, is the one where Dotty taps the ball forward a fair way, and it might have just come off someone's hands. But the good thing was we had a lot of players on the defensive side there, but we had, we didn't have any sort of understanding, I suppose, in terms of having a target. You can also see here in a minute, you'll see the boundary umpire on the corner of the square. So Capitola's run a fair way and towards our half forward line, and not one of our half forwards is hit in at him. So that's something we're going to be pushing as well. This one here, you can see our boys have done well. Gertie and Mufti holding players out and shepherding for Kendrick, still doing so. And then when we think Kendrick's got it, we've run past him. Gertie's run past. Whoops, there's been a bit of a change of plans there, and we're caught out. You can see Mufti come in here to support, which is good, but the tackle's just not hard enough, and Slattery just lets it run on. You can see by the next picture that probably wasn't hard enough. Mick lets his man go there, get past him, and then Dylan gets collared. So really make sure we're strong and we're holding our feet and blocking their blokes out. You can see there that our work rate's good though. We've got 5 blokes around that ball, but unfortunately a couple are flat-footed and some are forward of the ball, and that's where it can fall into their hands. Here we go into Southern Flinders and Jamestown. You see Bolton really holding out, I think it's Joel Palmer, yeah, another instance here. If he's caught behind, he'll grab your arms, grab your waist and pull you back. He just tries to protect that area in front. And but if he's in front, he'll almost screen. He'll have his arms back to keep you behind him and feel for the body. And once again, that's a good example just there. Number 14 is Hamish Tonkin that kept running in from the wing. He's on the closest wing to that the centre bounce. You'll also see that they always have somebody on the defensive side, so they've always got that option and preventing someone getting a run on. That's what we've got to make sure we do. But we don't want to be like a rugby scrum and have all of our blokes on the defensive side and the same with them. But just have a look here. Someone like Purchase sets himself really well. He can run through. If he can see that defensive side's covered, he'll run through forward. And at times though, he can see that the ball's going to someone else. This could be the example I was thinking of. See, and you can see that it's going towards Bolton or himself. So once Bolton's got it, okay, he gets to that defensive side, probably after a handball, but you can see there's still protection for Bolton with 2 players on that defensive side, and he manages to scream through, and Hamish Tonkin gets a shepherd in as well. Something that they do very well is use that body and block for each other. So you can see that even as these blokes go up for the ruck, nearly all the Jamestown blokes are body on body, probably with the exception of Purchase, and Nick McInerney's another one that seems to just be shrugged off fairly well in some of these contests. That's Greg Farr, who possibly play on the wing this week. He could be on the ball or he could even be up forward. Very versatile player and plays pretty tall, but if he's on the wing, that'll work pretty well for us with Tommy there, hopefully to stitch him up again. You can see Haggard is all arms and legs, or that was Kelly, sorry, on that occasion, who seems a bit soft in some of these pictures if you notice the body language, but Haggard's all arms and legs, so he's just going to come in and try and nullify. Curtis, you can see there, he's a key player for him, and he's looking to shepherd, as is the guy to the right of the screen, still ready to block for somebody. So that is a real feature of the game. And they've got options setting up as the ball's moving backwards. They've got fellas moving across on the far wing and far flank. And here you'll see Purchase when there's been a turnover. He's working really hard. He can see that Simpson was going to come in there, but he's moved down to the next contest, and he's worked very hard to get Palmer. This one shows Bernie Kelly and his body language, a bit soft. Here's some video footage. There'll be a lot of these ruck contests that you can just have a bit of a look at. So do plenty of stop and pause and slow-mo, that sort of thing, just to have a look. But as I said, Jamestown always make sure they've got that bloke on the defensive side. Bolton will hold his ground, and if you're in front of him, he'll push you under it. But if he's in front of you, he'll push you back and keep that space. So that's just this one's just showing how. I think it might have been the third quarter where it was just Stacey and Hagger. Must have been Hagger was changing the forward pocket, and they had plenty of space up there. This is going the other way, and it was just Stacey and one other player in the goal square, and Kelly and Bolton and those blokes were further out. Yeah, you can see here again. Kelly sort of really tries to jump in. He tends to try to go to probably sort of 9 o'clock, really, just to the left and the side. This will be Hagger, but he's not able to get in there. There's another go. So as I said earlier, he's pretty much all arms and legs, and his main aim is just to upset the other ruckman. As you can see, him struggles to keep his feet, but he's pretty effective and made their best players last week. This is quite interesting if you have a look there, that Simpson's come across to block for Oakley, and Ben Brown was pretty ordinary there and just let Oakley run off, and one of the other guys had to take him. This is their side. You've got McInerney, Stacey, Kelly, and then Simpson, Oakley and Clark. This is how they lined up last game. That's actually Fraser Tonkin on the wing, who I mentioned earlier as Hamish running in off the wing, but it's meant to be Fraser. Purchase and Farr. Purchase actually was so well held that he ended up out on the flank. Zach Noonan, Curtis and Amy. Amy's not travelling real well. Apparently can't even kick with his left leg. His hamstring's no good. And Sam Mooney, Hamish Tonkin and Noble. Pretty stable backline they've had all year. Hagger, Bolton and Nick McInerney. Wouldn't be surprised if Kelly went into ruck. But Williams, Josh Davis and Chris Lang. Got to be confident of their chances this week, boys, so I hope we give it our best.